Hello everyone. In this video, I want to go over the key differences between Google Cloud PubSub and Apache Kafka in various aspects. Let's get started. The core design for Google Cloud PubSub is that it's a managed event distribution system, and the focus is on delivering the messages. Whereas Apache Kafka, it's a distributed commit log where you have all the messages that are available for you, and you can easily maintain history, and it can also act as a data store for your messages. The operational model for Google Cloud PubSub is that it's fully managed. You don't have to worry about managing the brokers, servers, partitions to run, and auto scaling is a feature out of the box. Coming to Kafka, it's broker based. You have to manage cluster sizing, partitions, replication, and you could also use Confluent Cloud, which is a managed version of Kafka, to hide some of the details where the infrastructure details are hidden from you, and you just have to worry about the partitions and the topic creation as well as the consumer groups. Coming to the delivery mechanisms, Cloud PubSub supports both push and pull mechanism for delivering your messages. With push mechanism, you need to have an HTTP endpoint exposed by your consumers, and whenever a message is published by it to a topic, the broker will invoke that HTTP endpoint and send that message as an input request. It also supports the pull mechanism where the client can consume the messages whenever they need to consume them or whenever they are ready to consume them. Whereas Kafka, it only supports pull based mechanism where the consumers fetch the messages whenever they are ready and at their own pace. And the fan out model for Cloud PubSub is that the messages are sent or fanned out to all the subscriptions or business processes at publish time. So, as soon as a message is published to a topic, it gets sent to all the subscriptions that are subscribed to this topic. And each subscription is for one business process. So, if you have 10 consumers who are interested in messages published to a topic, then you need to create 10 subscriptions. And you will have 10 copies of that message for each of that subscription. Coming to Kafka, the fan out happens at the consume time. And once a message is published to a topic, it resides in that partition, and the consumer gets that message only when they consume it. And there is only one copy of a message that stays in memory in Kafka, even if you have 100 consumer groups. And coming to the state and progress tracking, Google Cloud PubSub is based on acknowledgement. Whenever a subscriber or business process consumes a message, it sends an acknowledgement back to the broker, and then that tracking is per subscription. Whereas in Kafka, it's offset based, and that offset is maintained per consumer group, which represents a position in the log. Delivery guarantee is at least one, and duplicates are possible in Google Cloud PubSub, whereas in Kafka, at least once is default, and exactly once is also possible with some extra configuration. Coming to ordering, GCP PubSub optional provides optional ordering features, and it's not its primary strength. Whereas in Kafka, strong ordering per partition, which is a core strength. Retention and replay. Message retention is time bounded in GCP PubSub, and it's fully dependent on consumption. Once a message is successfully consumed and an acknowledgement is sent, the message is not available for consumption anymore in that subscription. Whereas in Kafka, independent of the consumption, the message is still retained as long as the time duration for retention is still valid, or you could also configure it to retain messages based on the size of the topic or partition, and replay is still possible even after successful message consumption. Coming to schema validation, there is no schema validation by default, and there are some optional topic schema features that you can leverage. In Kafka, also, there is no schema validation that happens at the broker level, and the schema enforcement typically happens using a schema registry implementation. Google Cloud PubSub provides some subscription level filters which you can leverage so that you can apply specific filters on which business process or subscription gets what messages. Whereas in Kafka, there is no such broker side filtering. The consumers, all the consumers will get all the messages, and the consumer internally have to implement logic to apply any filters on what to process them or what to drop. And another feature is failure handling. Google Cloud PubSub provides that built-in dead letter topic policy on subscription. Whereas in Kafka, dead letter topic or queuing is a pattern that consumers will have to manage. So it's fully consumers' responsibility to write any failed messages to a separate topic or a store that can be processed later. And you have some of the best use cases for Google Cloud PubSub is that it's good for notifying, sending notifications, or broadcasting your events. It's also better for event driven microservices and its simple fan out processing. And you have it's so simple that you don't have to manage any brokers or partitions, and it is fully managed service. Coming to Kafka, some of the best use cases are event sourcing and streaming analytics. It's good for change data capture and data pipelines, and you need some kind of long lived event history. So it depends on what kind of use case or requirement that you're trying to solve, and what level of control you need to have in terms of managing the clusters, partitions, etc. Depending on your use case, you can pick either of the implementation. It's not which one is best, it's about which one suits your requirement. Thank you for listening.